Exciting Division III basketball this afternoon as the Carthage College Lady Reds at 7-3 entertain the University of St. Thomas Tommies 9-0 on the year. Good afternoon, everyone. John Weiser, glad you're along for this broadcast. First meeting ever between these two schools in women's basketball as the 8th-ranked St. Thomas Tommies bring a 9-game winning streak into our contest here this afternoon. Lady Reds a modest 3-game winning streak, winning 2 down in Florida a week ago and then picking up a victory last night over the University of St. Mary's out of South Bend, Indiana. Final score in that one was 86-42, and the Tommies picking up a win in the first game of the Carthage Lady Red Classic last night, defeating Manchester by a score of 73-41. Well, the Reds got some balanced scoring last night. 16 points from Taylor Boardman, 15 points from Casey Kleiner. Kleiner now hitting 50% from three-point range this season. She was 5 for 7 behind the arc last night. Aaron Thomas chipped in 13 points, and a big contribution by the bench last night, led by Morgan Vukovic with 8 points, 6 points each for Morgan Harris and Allison Riley, all coming off the bench in a victory for the Lady Reds. So they're going to need that effort here this afternoon against a very tough St. Thomas team. As we mentioned, they come in ranked number 8 in the latest D3Hoops.com poll. They are 9-0 on the season. They've already played 3 conference games in the Minnesota Intercollegiate Athletic Conference, and they are 3-0 in league play already. It's a school, private liberal art Catholic university out of St. Paul, Minnesota. They have about 6,200 undergraduate students, does the University of St. Thomas, and this team has been on quite a roll under their head coach, Ruth Sim, as they have been 5 consecutive 20-plus win seasons, and they were coming off a 25-5 mark a year ago. They made it into the second round of the NCAA tournament, losing to Final Four participant UW-Whitewater in that second round. But for those of you watching on the video stream, you can see the numbers, and they are quite defensive-minded as well. They average about 69 points a game while limiting their opponents to under 48 points per contest. More importantly, they are holding opponents to just 34% shooting, 28% behind the arc, and they are a plus 10 on the rebounding average. So they get after you quite well defensively, and that's what we're going to see again here today. That's what they did against Manchester last night. Very tight defense. They get after you. They pressure you in the half court. They pressure you as you bring the ball up. Then when you get set in your offense, they are not afraid to go right at you and force you into making split-second decisions with that basketball. They are led by 3 seniors who have been reunited this season in play. Jenna Doctor, Anna Smith, and Maggie Wires. They are all coming off various injuries since the 2012 Final Four run by the Tommies. And Wires missed the 2012-2013 season with a foot injury. Doctor missed significant playing time last season with a torn ACL. Smith missed the second half of last season because of a torn ACL. So when these 3 players are playing together, the record by this St. Thomas team, 47-4. So that tells you how important these 3 players are. Doctor averaging just under 13 points per contest. Wires at 11.2 points per game and 6 rebounds per contest. Smith, the leading rebounder on the team, pulling down 7 boards per contest. So the work will be cut out for the Lady Reds here tonight. It will not be as easy as it was last night against an undermanned St. Mary's squad. It's all hands on deck for this one for head coach Tim Bernero as they try and derail St. Thomas here in what will be the final non-conference game for both teams, as both squads will head back into conference play next week. Well, let's take a 60 break. When we come back, we'll visit with head coach Tim Bernero. We'll get his thoughts on this afternoon's ball game. Lady Reds basketball on 1050 WLIP. Coach Bernero coming up next right here on 1050 WLIP after this 60-second break. Welcome back to the beautiful Tarble Arena. This afternoon, the Lady Reds get set to take on the 8th-ranked St. Thomas Tommies, coming in with a 9-game winning streak here today, and joined now by head basketball coach Tim Bernero. And don't really have to get too deep into this interview to say this is a big ball game for both teams, but I think maybe more for the Lady Reds here as they prepare the final preparation here to get into conference play.
Yeah, you kind of build those 11 non-conference games and you get them as best organized as you can, and we've had different challenges. We've worked through some stuff. We've had some pretty good success. We've had some failures along the way, and we kind of top it off with playing the best team that we've seen so far in St. Thomas, who's perennially one of the better teams in their league, and a fixture of the NCAA tournament stuff. So, yeah, I think I said it after the game last night when we were wrapping up. I told the kids, we'll be better after today. Now, we'd like to be better with a victory, but we'll find out where we stand as far as that level of play, and it's a good challenge. They're if you look up and down their roster, it's senior, 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 junior, senior, senior kind of stuff. So, they've been through it, and that those are the kind of teams that test you and force you not to. They force you to be precise. You can't make mistakes because they've been around long enough to know how to exploit you.
I think, if anything, what I took away from their game against Manchester last night was they get after you defensively. I don't see too many women teams that get into you body-to-body contact on defense and really play tight defensively. We've seen the run and jump. We see that. We see what North Central plays to that extent. Illinois Wesleyan with their pressure defense, but I don't think anybody, as far as a half-court defense, I don't think you see so much of that anymore at this level.
Yeah, I mean, they're a little similar to Hope in that respect. I mean, they play the run and jump more, so to some degree, and we'll have to handle that. In the half court, they're long and they pressure you and dare you to go by them. When you go by them, they support very well. Where there's another layer of defense you got to get through. So, you can go by their first line, but there's usually people there, and then you have to make decisions, and you got to be strong where you're going with the ball, and you got to hold your positions in the post and kind of to make them have to work, but to take stuff away from you. But all our stuff sort of has reads and counters. So there's going to be things that they're going to try to take away, just like we're going to try to do to them, and we're going to have to be alert enough and executing our stuff to the point where what they take away gives us something else, and we got to take advantage of the stuff that they do give us.
Another key stat that jumps out: they're plus 10 on the boards this year as a team. So I would assume that's an emphasis here. You've got to follow up the shots. You've got to protect the offensive rebounds, as well as get in there and dig after those loose balls.
And you can see that too. I mean, we're plus 7 or so, I think, but it's teams that are good defensively that force a low shooting percentage. No matter how good a rebounding team you are, it's a lot easier to get the defensive ones than the offensive ones just by positioning on the floor to start with. So teams that can contain teams defensively force them to take shots a lot of times under duress, and if they do the right things, they can control their defensive end of the floor, and that's what we want to make sure we do. We've kind of been in that funny position, and I think St. Thomas is in a little bit that way over the last several years. We don't, sometimes you don't get a ton of offensive rebounds when you shoot 50%, because there's just not as many of those either. So, the formula, obviously, if you can shoot a high percentage, you don't need a lot of offensive rebounds, and if you can, play a good defensive percentage, you can get the defensive ones, and that's what we need to limit their second chances.
Well, how do you defend their top three and Dr. Weiser and Smith? They're three leading seniors, all leading scorers, with Smith being the leading rebounder at 7 per game.
Yeah, I mean, Doctor's as good a player I've seen in a while at the point because she's got good size. She's really good with the ball, kind of crafty getting to the basket. She makes enough perimeter shots to make you have to honor that. She's not just exclusively taking the ball to the basket, and she's not afraid of making the big plays. Weiser has been all-region, all-American. I think over her time she had a year in there where she was hurt. I think this is her 5th year, but very confident, has all the moves in the post at 6'2", and is capable of big games that way. And Smith complements her very well because she can play from the high post and dive and drive the ball to the basket and and she's actually their leading rebounder. So, and then they come in with another couple wave of big kids and some kids off the bench that can shoot the three a little bit. So they're a really good basketball team.
Who gets the assignments this afternoon?
Yeah, it's interesting because the way they like to get out in transition, you like to have it lined up who's playing who, but and we will. But sometimes when they get in transition, somebody's gonna have to take wire. It might be, any of the post players, the first one back can take her, or, if it's in transition, depending how they match up, somebody's going to have to pick up Doctor and keep her from getting to the basket. But, we'll probably go, with Quinn on Doctor, and we'll see, probably Taylor on Wires to start with, and Lex with Smith, and see if we go from there, and, have Thomas and Kleiner available to kind of help from other places where they might not be as aggressive offensively.
Well, it was nice to see Kleiner continue her hot shooting last night, 5 for 7 from three-point range, and she is starting to find her stroke. We talked a little bit more about Aaron Thomas. It's a game where you're probably going to need Thomas to do a little bit more penetration with the dribble drive.
Right, and she'll be able to get in there like we said before, but then what do you do when you get in there with their big people and the kind of length of their perimeter people? So she's going to have to make good decisions and finish or get to the free throw line or kick the ball back out to Casey or drop it to the post players when she can't get all the way to the rim. But, she needs to be good. And these are always like, you always hear the heavyweight fights because two really good teams. The beginning will be a feeling out because there's a lot of scouting done, and they're going to play our stuff a certain way. We're going to play their stuff a certain way. Both teams, I think, are pretty well prepared to handle whichever way they attack you, but you got to see how they're going to play it. I mean, you can guess at it, and we've given our kids some idea, but if they jump out and do something different or trap something here or do something that, we just got to kind of make those sight adjustments on the move and just keep playing, as opposed to you can't be blind to how you play and just be real predictable and doing stuff. You have to recognize the floor and see the floor and then make your decisions.
I know you spent some time on the whiteboard in the locker room here, so let's draw up our blueprints for success, brought to you by Riley Construction.
I think keeping them out of transition. They're going to try, if anything, the stuff you've seen in film and last night, they try to make or miss, get the ball up the sideline as fast as they can, get people in, get into the heart of your defense, whether it's off the dribble or into the post right away. We've got to keep that and kind of pinch that off and make them be more of a perimeter shooter. Now, they're capable. They have good shooters out there, but you don't want their post players getting loose and having Doctor getting loose going to the basket that way. So keeping them kind of contained that way with a team defensive effort is the first thing, and then how we handle their pressure. I mean, if they're going to put that run and jump on, we had some trouble with it earlier in the year. I think our formula on how to handle it's been pretty good over the several years because we see it a lot. I think this group's now grown a little more confident in how to handle it, and I think we'll see today, and hopefully I'm right, that we'll handle it well.
Our Blueprints for Success brought to you by Riley Construction. Let them make your job easier. A member of the U.S. Green Building Council and a proud partner of Carthage College Athletics. It's a big win out there. Let's go get them.
This is fun. Thanks, John.
Head coach Tim Bernero joining us on our pregame here tonight as the Lady Reds get set to take on the University of St. Thomas Tommies. Reds at 7-3. The Tommies are 9-0 and ranked number 8 in the latest D3Hoops.com poll. We're just about set for introductions for tonight's game. Again, you're listening to Carthage Lady Red Basketball on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP Kenosha. Let's head downstairs to Adam King, the PA announcer, with tonight's starting lineup.
Coaches and spectators, we request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. The NCAA, the CCIW in Carthage, thank you for your cooperation. And now for the starting lineups for today's game between the University of St. Thomas Tommies with a 9-0 record and your Carthage Lady Reds with a record of 7-3. Let's meet the starting lineup for the University of St. Thomas. A 5'6" junior guard out of Eau Claire, Wisconsin, number 3, Katie Stone. A 5'9" senior guard out of Bloomington, Minnesota, number 5, Laura Marguerite. A 5'9" senior guard out of Rosemount, Minnesota, number 21, Jenna Doctor. A 6'1" senior forward out of Bloomington, Minnesota, number 33, Anna Smith. And a 6'2" senior center out of New Prague, Minnesota, number 40, Maggie Wires. The head coach for the Tommies is Ruth Sin. Coach Sin's assisted by Brian Silk, Richard Shield, John Brugman, and Rick Kenton. Are you ready? And now let's see the starting lineup for your Carthage Lady Reds. At guard, a 5'6" junior from Richmond Burton High School. From Spring Grove, Illinois, number 11, Erin Thomas. At forward, a 6'1" junior from Lincoln Way North High School. From Frankfort, Illinois, number 10, Taylor Boardman. At forward, a 6' junior from Roselle Lake Park High School. From Itasca, Illinois, weighing number 3, Alexis Hahn. At guard, a 5'6" senior from Shoreland Lutheran High School. Out of South Milwaukee, Wisconsin, number 20, Casey Kleiner. And at guard, a 5'8" senior from Mundelein Carmel Catholic High School. From Island Lake, Illinois, number 12, Aaron Quinn. The head coach for your Lady Reds is Tim Bernero. He's assisted by Maggie McCloskey.
We're set for the first meeting ever between these two schools, University of St. Thomas against your Carthage College Lady Reds. Our officials for tonight's ball game, Aaron Rickard, Larry Mellinger, and Jennifer Washoe. Reds will be wearing the home whites, the white jerseys, white shorts trimmed out with the red numerals and black striping. St. Thomas, the purple jerseys, purple shorts trimmed out in white and black. Stone, Marguerite, Doctor, Smith, and Wires, the starting lineup for St. Thomas. Thomas, Quinn, Kleiner out of Shoreland Lutheran High School. Alexis Hahn and Taylor Boardman, your starters for the Carthage Lady Reds. 7-3 Lady Reds against the 9-0 Tommies. It'll be Boardman jumping center against Wires. The fifth-year senior, and the opening tip brought down by the Tommies. They'll work it right to left as we view it here at the spectacular Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Lady Reds open up man-to-man defense here. They try and work it down low. Smith with it on the right block. Back to the free throw line to Wires, and she hits the jumper there. And defense collapsing around Smith that time underneath. That left Wires open at the free throw line for the jumper. 2-0 Tommies. Kleiner now facing a trap at midcourt. Gets it across midcourt. Gets it back to Erin Thomas. Her heels just across the center line. Thomas works it off on the left wing. Man-to-man defense here for the Tommies early on. Hahn from the top of the circle works it off right wing to Thomas. Thomas now into the hands of Kleiner. 5 to shoot. Kleiner on the drive. Dumps back to Thomas. Thomas with 2, with 1. Spins. Didn't get it off. Turns it over on the shot clock violation. Outstanding defense by St. Thomas on that possession. Lady Reds had nowhere to go, essentially, with that basketball on that first possession. 2-0 Tommies as they bring it down and set it up. Set the high screen to cut off Quinn. They work it back up top. 3 ball on the way by Smith. Rattles off, no good. Aaron Quinn able to grab the rebound. Smith taking that three-pointer, top of the circle that time. The senior out of Bloomington, Minnesota. Now Kleiner up top to Boardman. Over the top feed to Hahn. She was held going for the basketball and the foul called. Foul's going to go on Anna Smith. That is her first on the Tommies. Carthage will inbound from underneath the basket to my right. 2-0 University of St. Thomas. Kleiner off the inbound feed for 3 out of the corner. Rattle out no good. Boardman with the offensive rebound will reload for Carthage. Quinn now high on the right wing. Feeds Hahn top of the circle. Dumps it to Boardman. Had it poked out from behind and a turnover by Taylor Boardman. Back the other way, 2-on-1. Driving is Stone. She'll lay it up and in off the right side. Capitalizing on the turn by Boardman that time. She put the ball on the floor and had it poked out. Would have been better off just to turn and deliver the ball to the basket that last possession. 4-0 University of St. Thomas. 2 minutes in here at the Tarble Arena in Kenosha. Hahn reversing around left side to Quinn. Quinn now on the drive through the lane. Skip pass back out to Thomas for 3. That rattles out no good. And the rebound taken down by Jenna Doctor. Doctor down the floor quickly across midcourt. Sets it up on the right wing. They feed it down low right side. Going up and in is Maggie Wires. Working over Boardman that time. 6-0 St. Thomas. Thomas now works it a basketball on the dribble. Gets it across midcourt. Now sets it up high on the right wing. Driving, dumps it back to Kleiner. Kleiner up top to Boardman. Over the top feed to Hahn. And again, Hahn held going for the basketball. It'll be Anna Smith again with the foul, her second. We'll get movement on the bench. Alyssa Favila will come in now. Favila now at 6'1" senior out of Roseville, Minnesota, replaces Anna Smith, who leaves with 2 personal fouls. Reds will inbound the basketball left of the basket. 17:21 to play. First half, Carthage trailing 6-0 to the 8th-ranked Tommies of the University of St. Thomas. Kleiner again from the left corner for 3. That one skips short, and the rebound pulled in by Weiers. Kleiner 0 for 2 now on 3-point shooting so far. Now Weiers on the drive, over Hahn, goes to the glass and lays it in. The Tommies just too tough right now on the Lady Reds. 8-0 St. Thomas. A national championship caliber team once again. A team that was 25-5 and a second-round finisher last year in the NCAA Division III tournament. Boardman turnaround left-hand hook. That one is short. Rebound, tip. Quinn got it, collides, and she hit that shoulder hard. Her and Doctor collided, and Quinn is down. Quinn has been experiencing shoulder problems in that right shoulder, and she jammed that one as she went after that loose ball, and she is on the floor in considerable pain. That is the same right shoulder. She's had that AC joint sprain since right before the trip to Florida. And she is back up under her own power. She's been playing without that brace the last 2 games. She's going to come out. Allison Riley is going to check in, and that is bad news as Quinn's going to walk right over to the locker room. To our left on the far side. And she's been gutting that out and had been getting better, and she dove for that loose ball, doing what she always does, digging after those 50-50 balls, and that time she collided with Doctor and hit that shoulder into Doctor, and then that shoulder into the court that time. Play resumes over the top. Hahn underneath the Boardman. She'll finish. No, she will not. She will travel with the basketball before she got the shot away. So a turnover, second one committed by Boardman, wipes out the basket. 8-0 Tommies. We're 3.5 minutes in here at Kenosha at the Tarble Arena. And we got a holding foul, I believe, on Riley that time as her and Doctor got collided inside.
Number 22, Allison Riley, her first personal foul.
First foul on the Lady Reds here in the ball game. Tommies will inbound right to the basket. They'll throw it in up top. Favila with it. Works it inside to Weiers on the right block. Double team. Kick out for the 3 by Marguerite, and that one is short. Weiers comes up with a rebound, goes back up and draws the foul. Boardman across the arm that time for the foul, and that will put Maggie Weiers on the free throw line for the Tommies. Second leading scorer, 11.2 per game. 79% from the stripe is Weiers, and she drops in the first of 2.
And number 23, Hughes.
Elaine Warner checks in along with Hannah Hughes for the Tommies as she makes both free throws. Weiers does. Extends the deficit to 10-0 here. Again, they'll try and trap here in the backcourt. Hahn helping out, gets it across to Riley, back to Hahn. Now Riley with it, will hand it off to Thomas. Aaron Thomas swings it back to Allison Riley. Cross court, left side it goes to Thomas. Way on the perimeter with 9 to Boardman driving in, walk with the basketball again. It's 4 touches by Boardman, and she's turned it over 3 times. 10-0 Tommies. And again, keeping a close watch on Quinn. She's got some ice on that shoulder already. I'm not sure what's going to happen here, if she'll be able to get back into this ball game or not. Now Doctor with it high in the left wing. Up top, deep 3, top of the circle, Hannah Hughes. That rattles off, no good. Boardman in position for the rebound and was fouled from behind by Maggie Weiers. First on Weiers, the 4th on the Tommies. Carthage will get it in quickly here, going the full length. Again, the Tommies trying to set up a trap. Reds keep it middle of the floor. Alexis Hahn brings it across, hands it back to Thomas. Thomas will set up the offense now. Reds looking for their first points here in this ball game. Gone nearly 5 minutes without a field goal. Kleiner driving, going hard to the basket, knocked to the floor, no foul called. Ball tipped off of Boardman, and it goes out of bounds off of Boardman. Boy, could have called a foul there. Hannah Hughes draped all over Kleiner on her drive to the basket. Actually knocked her to the floor, but the officials let it go. St. Thomas will set it up. Weisers top of the circle. Doctor hit the deck inside. Now they get it back. Hughes, cross-court feed. Now back out. It goes to Favila. Favila misses the three-pointer off the left wing, and Allison Riley hauls down the rebound. Carthage will bring it in. Reds 0 for 5 so far. Riley now to Boardman. Driving top of the circle, and we got contact on the drive. It's going to go on Weisers. That is her second. So Weisers picks up her second foul. Anna Smith, another starter, on the bench with 2 fouls. And checking in now is Caitlin Langer. Langer into the ball game for the first time tonight. Carthage still searching for their first basket. Kleiner off to Thomas in the right corner. Back up top to Kleiner. To Boardman. Boardman now lost control of it off her leg and out of bounds. Taylor Boardman's had a tough time of it here early, and Carthage is going to take a timeout. It'll be a full timeout. We'll take a break as well. 14 minutes to go here in this first half. It's St. Thomas 10, Carthage nothing on your home for Lady Reds basketball, AM 1050 WLIP. Tough start for the Lady Reds. 14 minutes to go here in this first half. They've had 10 possessions. They're 0 for 5 from the floor and 5 turnovers. So they trail by a score of 10-0 as St. Thomas will bring it up. Tommy's nationally ranked 8th in the nation as rated by D3Hoops.com. Langer now, another 6'3" sophomore out of Stillwater, Minnesota. She gets the ball in the paint, kicks it back out to Doctor. Doctor on the drive. Lost it. What do we got? A 3-second violation on the Tommies. And like Langer camped out in the lane that time. First turnover of the ball game for St. Thomas. Carthage again facing pressure in the backcourt. So far they've been able to handle it. Aaron Thomas brings it across. Thomas top of the circle. Drifts to her left with the dribble, hands it off to Kleiner. Back to Thomas, thought about it, reloads, gets it off to Boardman. Top of the circle, tried to fire it down to Hahn on a bounce pass. And it goes through Hahn's hands and out of bounds. 6th turnover by the Lady Reds so far tonight. 13:25 to go here in the first half. 10-0. Tommy's on top of the Lady Reds. Now Doctor with it high in the left wing. Driving, spinning around Riley. Goes to the glass. That would have been a spectacular shot had she finished, but she missed. Riley got the rebound. Doctor then stole it away and went up and drew the foul on Aaron Thomas. Great job defensively by Riley to prevent Doctor on that spin move to the basket. And got the loose ball, but had poked out, and Doctor was able to take it away from Riley and then drew the foul by Thomas. And at the free throw line is Doctor, missing on the first of 2. Marguerite and Stone will check back in for the Tommies. Again, Anna Smith and Maggie Weisers on the bench with 2 personal fouls for St. Thomas. We'll get our first look at Maddie Wolkow. Wolkow is a freshman out of Lakeville, Minnesota, 5'6" freshman guard. 11-0 St. Thomas on top of the Lady Reds. We're 7 minutes into our contest. Carthage still looking for their first basket. Thomas on the drive, going hard to the basket, will lay it up and in. There's the penetration. And the first points of the game for the Lady Reds on a drive to the basket by Aaron Thomas. 11-2, Reds trail. Now Stone with it, cross-court feed, and we got an offensive foul called on the Tommies on Marguerite with the chicken wing that time, trying to push off, lose Allison Riley that time. So Carthage will get possession. Thomas will bring it across. Guarded by Marguerite. Up top to Boardman. Boardman Gave up the dribble, top of the circle, and turned it over again. The fourth turnover committed by Taylor Boardman, and on the drive back the other way, Maddie Wolkow gets the layup. 13-2, Lady Reds trail. Taylor Boardman's had a rough start here. 0 for 1 from the floor, but she's turned it over 4 times. Trying to do too much. Now Riley on the drive to the basket. Lost control of it. She hits the deck, and it's stolen back the other way. Katie Stone takes it across midcourt. Stone going high off the glass, missing. Riley with the rebound for the Lady Reds. Aaron Thomas now will control it for Carthage. Thomas will hand it back to Kleiner for 3. Top of the circle. Back iron, no. Rebound loose in the paint. Taken away by Thomas. Another 50-50 ball that got away from Allison Riley. Caitlin Langer able to take it away from Riley that time. Tommies will set it up offensively. Step back 3 on the way is short. Barely grazed iron. Going back up with it though on the offensive rebound was Elaine Warner. That ball was short on the 3-point attempt by Wolkow. It was an air ball, and it was a Warner who just happened to be underneath. Thomas a deep 3 for Carthage. That's an air ball, and it will go out of bounds. Another turnover. The 10th committed by the Lady Reds here in the first 9 minutes. And the Lady Reds will burn another timeout. Exactly 11 minutes to go here in the first half, and it's a 15-2 run for the University of St. Thomas. I told you the defensive pressure by the Tommies getting after the Lady Reds here early on and forcing turnovers, 10 of them to be exact by Carthage and 4 of them committed by Taylor Boardman in the post. And they're just trying to do too much too quickly instead of settling down and getting into their offense. But again, good credit to St. Thomas. They've been able to take the Lady Reds out of their offensive rhythm here to start this ball game, at least through the first part of this first half. The Tommies 6 of 12 from the floor, 50%. Lady Reds just 1 for 8 in shooting. Reds out rebounding Tommies right now, 7-6. But have turned the ball over 9 times. Tommies will set it up. Warner looks it off far side into the hands of Wolkow. Back up top to Stone. Katie Stone to Marguerite on the left wing. Now backs it out near the center circle with 7 to shoot as Wolkow. Wolkow still with the dribble. Now kicks it off to Langer. Langer travel with the basketball. Third turnover committed by the Tommies. A Langer turnover, a Langer travel actually. Into the ball game for the Lady Reds, Morgan Harris, along with Ashley Cunningham. Kleiner works it off to Harris. Harris up top to Riley. Around to Cunningham. Now back to Kleiner. 8 to shoot here. Riley gets it back to Harris with 3. With 2 on the shot clock. Harris going strong to the basket. Too strong off the glass. Never touched the rim. Rebound pulled away by Elaine Warner. And the Tommies getting it done defensively. Now shot on the way and good. Almost losing control with it was Laura Marguerite. Marguerite able to hit the jumper from the top of the circle. 17-2 run here for the Tommies. 9:35 to go here in our first half. Allison Riley on the dribble, penetrates to the paint, puts up the right-hand shot, curls off, no good. Was halfway down and rolled out that time. The rebound cleared out by Warner. Back come the Tommies. Warner swings it over to Stone for 3. That rattles off, no good. Morgan Harris digging hard, looking for a rebound. Ball loose on the floor. And we got a, foul called on Allison Riley going after that loose ball. Nope, check that timeout by the Tommies. Be a 30-second timeout. She's trying to tie up Stone underneath that time, and Stone able to gather the ball in with her left hand and ask for the timeout. Play stop with 9:12 remaining here in our first half. St. Thomas leading Carthage 17-2. And the Tommies 7 of 14 from the floor, but 0 for 4 from behind the arc. Meanwhile, the Reds struggling, 1 for 10 shooting. 9 turnovers. It'll be Riley, Thomas, Cunningham, Boardman, and Harris for the Lady Reds. Stone and Marguerite, along with Wolkow, Langer, and Warner. Tommies will inbound here. Carthage, a little bit of a 2-3 zone look here. Now they break out, go man, and Warner pulls up, missing, rebound, and getting the loose ball inside was Langer, able to pull it away from Boardman. Boardman forced to go over the back and commits the foul. That's 2 on Boardman. 4th foul on the Lady Reds. Tommies will get another possession in the offensive end as Wolkow will trigger the inbound. 17-2 St. Thomas, 8:50 to play in the half. Deep 3, right wing, Stone, and she hits. Katie Stone, the junior out of Eau Claire Regis, able to drop in the triple from the right side, a 20-2 advantage for St. Thomas. Harris now top of the circle. Works it off on the right wing to Allison Riley. Riley on the drive, spinning at the baseline. Back out to Cunningham. She'll fire and hits the triple. Ashley Cunningham with the triple from the right wing at the right elbow. Badly needed basket there for the Lady Reds. 20-5 your score. Stone again tried to step back for the 3, but an offensive foul and a moving screen called on Caitlin Langer. First on Langer, 7th team foul. Jenna Doctor will check back in for St. Thomas, replacing Wolkow. Harris on the dribble. Works it off to Thomas. Aaron Thomas, the transfer from Loyola. Spins it off to Cunningham. Now back over to Harris. Harris will pull up at the free throw line. That one's short. Cunningham digging for the loose ball. It's loose at midcourt. Thomas will pick it up for Carthage. Aaron Thomas works it off to Harris in the left corner. Turns and delivers back to Thomas. Gave up the dribble. Now finds Cunningham, top of the circle, around to Riley. Back to Cunningham, reversing left side to Thomas. Thomas with Marguerite on her. Penetrates, skip pass to Riley. Riley had it poked away. Thomas picks it up. 6 to shoot here. Carthage has to gather themselves here. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Riley spinning. Right baseline shot. Just got it off. Ball loose in the paint. And it's taken away by the Tommies. Pulling out of there was Warner. Off to Doctor. Cross-court feed to Marguerite. Working the right wing on Thomas. Now circles back. Delivers the ball to Warner. Reversing left side now to Doctor. Doctor to the top of the circle. Penetrates the lane. Skip past the Stone for 3. That's flat off the heel of the rim. Pulled down by Aaron Thomas. Under 7 minutes to go. Lady Reds trail 20-5. Riley now. Back to Boardman. Around to Harris. Harris up top to Aaron Thomas. Thomas now on the dribble. Through the top of the circle. Pass left side to Harris. Drops it down low to Boardman. Able to get free and lay it up and in. Good triangle look that time with Harris finishing off on the over-the-top feed to the left block for Boardman. First points of the game for Taylor Boardman. 20-7. 6:15 to go here in this first half. Long 3 off the left wing is no good, and the Tommies all over the offensive glass. Pull down another rebound. They've out-rebounded the Lady Reds 12-9. That's their 4th offensive carom here tonight. Down low, it's Marguerite. She turned, stepped on the end line as she made her turn to the basket and turned it over. So it'll be Carthage basketball here.
Into the Tommies lineup, number 34, Fisher.
Lauren Fisher will check in now, a 6-foot freshman out of Oshkosh Lourdes for St. Thomas. Also in is Anna Smith. Smith picked up 2 quick fouls in the first 3 minutes of the contest. She is back on the floor right now for the Tommies. 5:50 to play. Reds tracing 13. Harris now, top of the circle. Flips it off to Cunningham. Drops below the arc. Back out to Alexis Hahn for 3. That rattles off no good. Boardman tried to tap it out, and it tapped it out of bounds. So the Tommies will regain possession here. With 5.5 minutes to go here in our first half. Smith with it. Works at top of the circle. Off to Fabula. Now to Marguerite. Back to Smith. Smith on Cunningham. Penetrates. Kicks it back out. 3 ball on the way is no good. It gets wedged between the glass and the rim on that 3-point attempt by Lauren Fisher. So it'll be Carthage ball. Looks like St. Thomas will take a timeout here. So timeout by the Tommies with 5:13 to go here in our first half. Lady Reds down 13 by a score of 20-7. Reds now 3 of 15 shooting, just 20%. Carthage 1 for 7 from behind the arc. Either team lighting it up from behind the arc. Each team 1 for 7 now. 3-point shooting. Tommies cooling off just a little bit now, 8 for 19. They started out 6 for 12 here, but they've gone 2 for their last 7. And St. Thomas has gone nearly 3 minutes, over 3.5 minutes now, without a field goal. So Carthage starting to get their legs here a little bit, and they were on the ropes here early on. 1 point, a 12-2 run to start the ball game for St. Thomas, but Carthage now keeping even with the Tommies since the beginning of this first half. So hopefully trying to get things figured out. Erin Quinn injured in the ball game, hurt that right shoulder going after a loose ball. That's been the shoulder she has had some problems with, that AC joint. She had some treatment over the holidays, got that taken care of, and re-aggravated that injury here early, and she remains on the bench, keeping that right arm immobile. Hahn now will deliver to Morgan Harris. Hahn, Harris, Thomas, Cunningham, and Boardman out there for the Lady Reds. Unable to get it across, and they call a 10-second violation on the Lady Reds. One of the newer rules now this year in women's basketball, there will be a 10-second time limit to get the ball across midcourt, and Hahn, unfortunately, unable to beat that 10-second time. 10th turnover committed by the Lady Reds. We got a whistle and a foul. Alexis Hahn committing the foul down low. 15 foul on the Lady Reds. Tommies will inbound underneath. They get it up top in the hands of Anna Smith. Back out to Doctor. Jenna Doctor high on the right wing. Reversing around left side now to Fisher. Back to the right side it goes to Marguerite. Now back to Fisher, working the perimeter game here. Now on the drive, Doctor. Cut off at the left baseline, got away with a walk, kicked it back out. On the delivery, Smith, her shot no good. Loose ball, Morgan Harris able to get in front of it. Deflect it off to her teammate, Ashley Cunningham. 4:15 to go here in the half. Carthage down 13. A little bit of a run here for the Lady Reds, and get to halftime here, feel a little bit better about themselves. And stay within striking distance here of the Tommies. 7 on the shot clock. Boardman in the paint on the delivery from Hahn. Goes glass and banks it in. Hahn with a nice entry pass into the middle of the lane to Boardman, and then she put it down on the floor with one dribble and turned and delivered off the glass and in. 20-9. Shot missing that time. Taken by Fabula inside. The rebound cleared out by the Lady Reds. Thomas now will set it up. 3.5 minutes to go. Boardman way up top. Now penetrates, drives, going glass, lays it up and in. Taylor Boardman back-to-back buckets, and the Reds back to within 9, 20-11. Doctor spinning in the paint, kicks it back out. Marguerite for 3. Hits the back iron, no. Loose ball inside, taken back. And off the glass and down by Lauren Fisher. Good job by Fisher digging after that loose ball. Again, One of the things the Tommies do very well, they go after those 50-50 loose balls off the caroms. They're very good at that and showing that effort here tonight. 6th offensive board here in the first half. Hahn inside, going glass off the left block. Alexis Hahn with her first points tonight. 22-13, 2:45 to play. Now Marguerite to the free throw line with the dribble, dumps it back to Doctor. Doctor now gets a screen, cuts off Harris. Now back up top it'll go. Smith working it down low and driving to the basket and laying it in low left side is Favela. First points of the game for her, 24-13. Harris now across midcourt. Works it off to Cunningham. Now to Taylor Boardman, top of the circle. Right side it goes Thomas. Over the top feed to Hahn again. Right block, plays it off the glass and down. Alexis Hahn from Aaron Thomas that time. Hahn with 4 points, back to a 9-point game. Now open three out of the left corner. That one's no good. Another offensive board by Marguerite. She will set it up for the Tommies. They go back inside, going up, missing. Good job by Hahn to keep her feet, forcing the miss by Anna Smith that time. Back come the Lady Reds. Harris will pick up the dribble across midcourt. Cunningham, nice feed to Hahn, goes off the glass and in. Carthage starting to run their offense now, and they've cut it to 7. 24-17, minute 20 to go in the half. Doctor now penetrates, skip pass into the corner again. Fisher for three. That one clanks off, no good, but another offensive board by Anna Smith. 7 of their 16 boards coming on the offensive glass by the Tommies, and we got a walk. Jenna Doctor on the double team effort by Morgan Harris, and Aaron Thomas forced the turnover. Weiser back in now with her second foul. In for the Lady Reds will be Kleiner and Riley. Harris now driving the floor, gets to the right block, goes underneath, had it blocked. Back out to Hahn though. Her jumper from the free throw line, no good. Boardman able to get the offensive rebound. Under a minute to go now. Carthage with possession. Riley, top of the circle, Boardman. Bounce feed to Hahn. Hahn turning in the paint, draws the foul. Nice feed by Boardman that time into a double team of Hahn, and Hahn quickly turned and went right to the basket to draw the foul. Foul will go on Warner, her first. They'll put Alexis Hahn at the free throw line for the first time this evening. Free throw is up and in for Alexis Hahn, 63% from the stripe this year. The team's leading scorer at 12.9 points per game. Boardman will come out. Ashley Cunningham will check in for her. Good recovery by Boardman here in the second 10 minutes of this first half. As Hahn makes both free throws to make it a 5-point game with 40 seconds to go in the half. Again, they work it inside. Weiser with it, and Weiser traveled. Turned it over. There was contact inside. The officials let it go, and Weiser turned it over. So Cunningham will get it into Morgan Harris. 5-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Harris gets it across to Riley. Riley back over to, and we got a walk on Riley. She's going to try and set up Kleiner in the left corner, who was alone, but Riley dragged the pivot foot before she got the pass off. So now the Tommies will have the final possession here. Shot clock dark, 23 seconds to play. Doctor will walk it across midcourt. Up top it'll go to Smith. Smith bounce feed inside, though, got to the basket, and the layup is good by Elaine Warner. Carthage with 8 seconds to go. Harris weaves her way across midcourt. Morgan Harris takes it all the way, knocked to the floor, and did not get the shot off. Tried to flip it to the basket and fell off balance. No foul called there, and so the half will end with the Reds down 7. All things considered, I think the Lady Reds within 7 points here at the half. You will take that given the start they had here through the first 10 minutes of this first half. The Tommies with the lead. It's St. Thomas 26, Carthage 19. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back with our halftime programming right after this on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena on the campus of Carthage College, Kenosha, Wisconsin. The Lady Reds trailing here at the half, 26-19, and all things considered, as I said, I think you'll take that for the Lady Reds as they found themselves down through the first 7 minutes of this game, 11-0. Lady Reds going 0 for 5 and turning it over 5 times on their first 10 possessions here in this ball game. But Carthage started to get going here in the final 10 minutes of this first half as the Lady Reds trailed by as many as 17-2 on a Laura Marguerite jumper with 9:45 to play. It was at that point a 17-2 advantage in favor of St. Thomas, but the Lady Reds came alive, outscoring them 17-9 in the final 9:25. And Taylor Boardman with a couple of baskets here late on a couple of layups. Alexis Hahn with a couple of layups. And then getting to the free throw line as well. Hahn able to take advantage of the line, getting fouled by Elaine Warner with under a minute left. That brought the Lady Reds to within 5, 24-19 with 41 seconds to play. But then Weiser turned it over on a traveling call, somewhat questionable as there was some contact underneath and got bounced around a little bit, but they let that go, and Weiser double dribbled with a basketball and turning it over to Carthage, but then Allison Riley, as she got it across midcourt, traveled herself, and so that gave the shot clock dark with 23 seconds left. That gave the Tommies the opportunity to take it all the way down. Instead, they ran their offense, and it was Elaine Warner with a layup with 11 seconds left to finish off the scoring here in this first half at 26-19. Numbers not good for the Lady Reds through that first half. 8 for 21, 38%. 1 for 8 from behind the arc, 12%. And 2 for 2 from the free throw line for Carthage in that first half. Compared to St. Thomas, at one point shooting better than 60% early on. But the Tommies get down to 39% on 11 of 28 from the floor. St. Thomas just 1 for 10 3-ball shooting and 3 of 4 from the free throw line. As we take a look at the individual numbers for the Lady Reds, Alexis Hahn finished the half with 8 points, 3 of 5 shooting, including a pair of free throws for her 8 points to lead the team in scoring. Taylor Boardman, kind of a rough outing early on. Her first 5 possessions, she turned it over 4 times, but finished the half with 6 points, 3 for 4 from the floor for Boardman, including a couple of rebounds. She finished with 6 points, 3 points for Ashley Cunningham, and 2 points for Erin Thomas. Casey Kleiner held off the score sheet in that first half, coming into the game better than 50%, 3-point shooting on the season. In that first half, Kleiner 0 for 4 from the floor, including 3 misses from the arc. And also Erin Quinn played just 3 minutes of the contest tonight. She collided with Jenna Doctor going for a loose ball and re-injured that right shoulder. She did not return in that first half. Questionable coming back in here for the second half. Again, the Lady Reds 38% from the floor, just 12%, 1 for 8 from behind the 3-point arc. Meanwhile, for St. Thomas, they were led by Maggie Weiser. Weiser in foul trouble, came back to go 3 for 3 from the floor, including a pair of free throws for her 8 points. She also picked up 2 personal fouls early in the first 9 minutes of the contest. But she led her team in scoring with 8 in that first half. Katie Stone with 5. It was Elaine Warner with 4. And 2 points each for Marguerite, Favela, and Fisher. Wolko also with 2. 1 point for Jenna Doctor. The Tommies go 39% from the floor, 11 of 28. They too cold from outside, only 1 for 10 from 3-point range. Rebounding, Lady Reds out-rebounded 16-13 in that first half. The Tommies with 7 offensive boards in that first half compared to just 4 for the Lady Reds. The leading rebounder for the Lady Reds was Allison Riley with 3. Aaron Thomas with 3. Elaine Warner with 5 boards to lead the way for the Tommies. St. Thomas turned it over 7 times. Lady Reds turned it 11 times. Reds with 6 assists, no blocks, and no steals. The Tommies, 5 assists, no blocks, no steals. Again, your score here at the half. Lady Reds trail 26-19. Again, a reminder, conference opens up on Saturday afternoon. There's been a time change for that ball game, January the 3rd. That's coming up this Saturday. Lady Reds and the Redmen open up conference play at home, hosting Augustana. And those games will get underway with the women at 2 o'clock Central Time, followed by the men's game at 4 o'clock Central Time. So a change in starting times for those games this Saturday. The women will go at 2, the men will go at 4 against Augustana. We will kick things off on our broadcast Saturday with the Carthage Insider, our first one of the year. That'll be at 1:30 on Saturday afternoon, and then at 1:45 we'll have our Lady Reds pregame, followed by Lady Reds basketball at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow afternoon we'll have Redmen basketball here on 1050 WLIP as the Carthage Redmen travel to Oshkosh to take on the UW Oshkosh Titans. We'll have the broadcast for you beginning with our pregame at 12:45 tomorrow afternoon, a 1 o'clock tip from Oshkosh tomorrow afternoon. You'll hear that game live right here on 1050 WLIP and on the stream at WLIP.com. Lady Reds trail by 7 here at the half, 26-19 after down by as many as 15 points in that first half. So Lady Reds poised to come back here in the second half. They've got to do a better job protecting the basketball with those 11 turnovers thus far. And I think they've been able to get into their offense here. And as you heard Coach Bernero talk in our pregame, I think what happens here in the final 20 minutes after the teams have figured each other out, who makes the better adjustments here in this second frame is going to have the advantage here throughout the rest of this ball game. So we'll see how the Lady Reds readjust here in this second 20-minute of action. Your score here at the half, St. Thomas 26, Carthage 19. We'll pause for another 2-minute break. Back with second half play right after this on AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena. 26-19, the 8th-ranked St. Thomas Tommies over the Carthage Lady Reds through one half of play. Reds in danger of seeing that 14-game home winning streak come to an end here if they don't get going here in this second half, and they'll do it without Erin Quinn for the remainder of the game. Quinn is back out on the floor. She has that right arm in a sling. Again, if you're just joining us, she went after a loose ball and collided with a St. Thomas player and jammed that right shoulder. That's the shoulder she's had some problems with here of late, the AC joint, and working that out, and re-aggravated that injury, it appears, and has that right arm in a sling, and looks like she will be out for the remainder of this ball game, and her status for Saturday's conference opener against Augustana in doubt as well. So the injury bug biting the Lady Reds here at the tail end of the non-conference season. And the Reds will open up conference play against Augustana here at home on Saturday. Then next week, Wednesday, a week from tomorrow, they will host North Park, and then it's on the road to Bloomington to take on Illinois Wesleyan on the 10th. So those are the next 3 ball games coming up, and your opportunity to see the next one here at the Tarble Arena for both women and men's basketball is this Saturday. Again, a 2 o'clock tip for the women and a 4 o'clock tip for the men. We'd love to see you out here in person. Again, if you're out and about looking for something to do this weekend as you wrap up the extended holiday, Reds and Redmen will be home here on Saturday afternoon, January the 3rd, as they will take on the Augustana Vikings out of Rock Island, Illinois. The Augie men ranked number 2 in the latest D3Hoops.com poll. Team that knocked off Bradley University in an exhibition game earlier this year down in Peoria. Gray Giovanni's squad poised for another deep run into the NCAA tournament. They are the projected favorite to win the men's portion of the CCIW schedule. Wheaton on the women's side, followed by the Lady Reds and North Central.
Number 3, Stone. Number 5, Margaret. Number 21, Doctor. Number 33, Smith.
So it
And number 40,
should be an exciting run in the conference. I think the conference very even this year. Once you get to, Augustana, Illinois Wesleyan on the men's side. I think you look at Wheaton, Carthage, North Central, Elmhurst, a very balanced women's side of the conference ledger. It all gets underway on Saturday, the 69th season of CCIW basketball. It'll be Thomas, Riley, Kleiner, Boardman, and Hahn for the Lady Reds. Stone, Marguerite, Doctor, Smith, and Wires for the Tommies. St. Thomas will get possession to start this second half. They'll work it left to right as we view it here. And play resumes. We are underway second half. Reds down 7. Again, the Reds open up man-to-man. Doctor with it high in the right wing. Dumps it down to Wires. Wires working over Boardman. Got the shot off and over Boardman. Not much more Taylor could do there. She stood toe-to-toe with Wires, and Wires taking advantage of her 6'3" frame, able to drop that one in. And quickly got a foul across midcourt as Aaron Thomas was fouled.
Tommy's foul, number 5.
Going Laura Marguerite. That is her second of the ball game. Reds will inbound in front of their own bench. Thomas will set it up. Aaron Thomas gets it over to Boardman. Boardman working near wing, left side to Kleiner. Back up top to Riley. Deep 3 by Riley. That rattles out, no good. Ball tipped through the hands of Hahn and through the extended arm of Katie Stone, but picked up by Doctor, and she'll take it across midcourt. Reversing around left side, Stone for 3. That one rattles off, no good. Hahn had the rebound, knocked out of her hand, and it goes out of play off of Anna Smith. Carthage will retain possession here, going the full length. Thomas able to race it across midcourt. Dumps it into the corner, Kleiner. Kleiner back up top to Hahn, reversing left side to Riley. Riley gets it back to Thomas, middle of the floor. Now to Kleiner, sets her feet, fires the 3. That one rattles off, no good. Boardman able to get the rebound. Carthage will reload here. Kleiner again off the right wing, gets it to Boardman, top of the circle. She wants the 3, And she's fouled as she's knocked to the floor. That'll get Boardman in the line for 3 free throws. More importantly for the Carthage fans, that's the 3rd foul on Maggie Weiers. Weiers picks up her 3rd, knocking Boardman to the floor on that 3-point attempt, so Taylor Boardman will get 3 free throws here. Weiers picking up her 3rd, and Boardman able to connect on the first free throw. Boardman averaging 9.5 points, 7.5 rebounds per game. Second one off the heel, no good. Weiers will exit now. And Caitlin Langer, the 6'3 sophomore, replacing Weiers with her 3rd foul. 3rd free throw on the way for Boardman, and she's able to drop it in. 2 for 3 that trip. Pulls her team to within 7, 28-21. Minute and a half into our second half. Doctor now with the dribble, and we got a reach foul on Allison Riley. Riley trying to reach around the screen, and the pick set up that time, the high ball screen. She reached around and grabbed the jersey that time, and an easy foul to call there, her 2nd. She just moves her feet. She might get the moving screen as Doctor penetrates and draws the foul. Doctor took that inbounds pass from the right wing and then drifted with the dribble all the way through the paint down low left to draw the foul. It's on Alexis Hahn, her 2nd. Each team with 2 team fouls, and at the free throw line is Doctor. Coming up short. One of the rare misses by Doctor. She's just a scooch under 81% from the stripe this year. Makes the 2nd, goes 1 for 2 that trip. 29-21 St. Thomas. Now they'll put on the pressure. Hahn with it now, dribbles out of traffic. Good job by Hahn. Break the press. Gets it back to Riley. Excellent job that time by the Lady Reds. They had trouble in the Loris game earlier this year. They had all kinds of trouble with the press. Hahn now puts it on the floor. Turns and delivers to Thomas. Spinning in the paint. Lost control, but called for the travel. Took the extra step before she released the basketball. And Thomas called for the travel, turning it over to the Tommies. 2 minutes into our second half, 29-21 St. Thomas. Now Smith, back out it goes to Marguerite. Marguerite back over to Smith, the 20-footer, good, just inside the arc at the right elbow. Anna Smith, her first basket of the ball game. She's got her first 2 points, 31-21 St. Thomas. Now Kleiner out of the right corner, takes the dribble back up high, feeds Boardman. Boardman backing down, spins with the left hand and hits. Nice move by Taylor Boardman in the post. Working that time on Langer. A soft baby hook with the left hand, able to go down. 31-23. Doctor sets it up between the rings. Now traveled with it as she took the extra crow hop before putting it on the floor. 8th turn by the Tommies here in the ball game. Carthage will get possession, down 8. Riley will get it into Thomas. Looking to set the trap here. Carthage needs some help. Somebody's got to come out and help her. It's Hahn as they just beat the 10-second count. Riley now with it. Gives it off to Thomas. Through the center circle, now off to the right wing. Now they over the top feed. Thomas down to Boardman. Again the baby hook with the left hand, and she hits. Taylor Boardman knocked to the floor as she delivered that baby hook, and a timeout taken by St. Thomas. Reds to within 6. 31-25. St. Thomas taking the timeout. It will be a full timeout. We will keep it here. Our broadcast booth brought to you by Pullman Motors on Highway 50 Kenosha and Pullman of Racine on Highway 20, Wisconsin's #1 volume dealer of Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Rams. That's the power of Pullman. Again, Redmond basketball tomorrow afternoon. Carthage-Redmond on the road at UW-Oshkosh. We'll be with you at 12:45 tomorrow with our pregame and a 1 o'clock tip. As the Redmen wrap up their non-conference slate Actually, they have one more non-conference game in late February, but at least the pre-CCIW portion of their non-conference schedule will be completed tomorrow afternoon at UW Oshkosh. And then we'll be with you every Wednesday and Saturday from here on out with exciting College Conference of Illinois and Wisconsin basketball. So the closest the Lady Reds have been now is 6, 31-25. Boardman with 10 points. Make that 12 points for Boardman, 8 for Alexis Hahn. Lead the way for the Lady Reds. Wires on the bench with her third foul. Has 8 points for the Tommies. Stone now works it back over to Smith. Into the left corner it goes to Marguerite. Back up top to Stone. They work it around to Doctor with 10 on the shot clock. Doctor, step back three on the way. That's no good. Ball caroms around in the paint, picked up by Smith. Smith is then tied up by Alexis Hahn, and the possession arrow goes back to the Lady Reds. Kind of a goofy carom off that three by Doctor. Kind of hit the left side of the rim and then straight down and kind of pinballed its way through the paint, and Hahn was able to tie up Smith for the held ball. Now Hahn losing control of it. Thomas able to dribble out of it, and they just do beat the 10-second count as they get it to, oh, they did not. Did not hear the whistle with all the commotion going on. As Reds did not beat the 10-second count. Otherwise, they would have had Boardman all alone underneath for a layup. So it'll go as a turnover. Tommy's tough on the defense once again. 31-25, Reds down 6. 4 minutes in to our second half. Doctor straight on three, good. Well, she had time to eye that one up. There was a switch off there between Boardman and Riley was late getting there and getting a hand in her face. Doctor with 5 points. Thomas now trying to dribble through traffic and draws the foul. Dangerous play there, but got bailed out on the foul call. Anna Smith picking up the foul. That is her third. Warner will check in, replacing Marguerite. Morgan Harris in for Aaron Thomas for the Lady Reds. 15:40 to go, 34-25 St. Thomas. Lady Reds will inbound. They'll get it into Morgan Harris. Harris, the freshman out of Hersey. We got a whistle away from the play, and once again Boardman being muscled off by Langer. That's 2 now on Langer, 4th on the Tommies as a team. Fabula will check back in along with Wolkow and Warner. Harris will trigger the inbound. Ball is tipped out of bounds. Doctor deflecting that inbounds pass over to the far side, so it'll be free throw line extended near side here for the Lady Reds as they will inbound. Riley will trigger this one, gets it into Morgan Harris. Harris at the center circle, gets it off to Riley. A lob underneath the Boardman, able to get around and through. Alyssa Fabula that time was Boardman. Boardman with 14 points. Reds back to within 7. Boardman now 6 for 7 from the floor. Deep three by Doctor, left alone there, missing. Boardman with the rebound for Carthage. She will clear it out to Morgan Harris. Big possession here for Carthage. Keep that momentum going here. Harris with the left-hand dribble, gives it off to Hahn, top of the circle, looking for Boardman. Hahn will take the three. That one rattles off, no good, and nobody there for the Lady Reds. Wolkow able to box out Riley for the rebound. Now the Tommies will set it up. Top of the circle three. That one is short. Rebound Boardman. Shot taken that time by Warner. Boardman with the defensive board that time. Now Kleiner with it. Still looking for her first points tonight. Cross-court feed to Riley. Riley on the left wing, and again Hahn thrown to the floor, and we got a foul called on Alyssa Favela. They're making it tough. A lot of bodies colliding in that paint. Lady Reds hanging tough, though, as Morgan Harris will inbound. Throw it all the way up top. Kleiner will flag it down. Again, playing without Erin Quinn here in this second half. Quinn injuring her right shoulder again. As Hahn feeds down low to Boardman, and it crawls off the rim, no good. Boardman got her own rebound, and the stick back goes in. Boardman missed low right, got her own rebound low left, and then went right back off the glass and down. And the Tommies will take another timeout. They have 2 remaining, as St. Thomas will burn the timeout. We're 6 minutes into our second half. We'll take a break. It's the Tommies 34, Carthage 29. Back with more after this on AM 1050 WLIP. After trailing by as many as 18 here in this ball game, the Lady Reds have pulled back to within 5, 34-29, with exactly 14 minutes to go in this contest. Tommies undefeated at 9-0. Reds at 7-3. A 14-game home winning streak on the line for Carthage here. Doctor will take it across for St. Thomas. Works it off on the near wing. Wolkow back to Doctor. Doctor penetrates. Kicks it back out to Wolkow. Wolkow with 12 on the shot clock. Backs it off near the center circle. Now gets it back out. Deep 3 on the way. No good. Shot taken that time by Favela, and the rebound by Allison Riley. She'll get it off to Morgan Harris. Harris, Riley, Cunningham, Boardman, and Kleiner out there for the Lady Reds. Cunningham, top of the circle, heavily guarded by Favela. Now got around Favela, lays it up and in. Ashley Cunningham. Those quick feet of hers, able to get around Favela. She was right up in her grill. Got around, Reds to within 3, and then on the drive to the basket, Doctor missing, but drew the foul.
Carthage foul, number 10, Boardman, her 3rd personal foul. 13
Taylor
foul.
Boardman called for the foul. That is her 3rd.
Doctor at the line.
And Jenna Doctor will go to the line shooting 2. Doctor able to hit the front end.
Into the Tommies lineup, number 40, Weiser, and number 33, Smith. Into your Lady Reds lineup, returning number 3,
Doctor with 6 points tonight. 3 for 5 from the free throw line. And she doesn't miss that often. She's missed 2 here tonight. Now 4 for 6 from the stripe. The lead back out to 5, 36-31. Again, pressure in the backcourt. Carthage able to break it. Morgan Harris with the drive. Down the right side, cut off there by Doctor. Now pulled up. Gets it off to Kleiner. To Cunningham, around to Riley. Riley back to Harris for 3. On the way, rattles out, no. Long rebound off the right side, and it's pulled in by the Tommies and Maggie Wires. Wires back on the floor now with 3 fouls. On the drive, Smith. Smith draws the foul, and she will go to the line to shoot a pair. Cunningham picking up the foul, her first. The 4th team foul on the Lady Reds here in the half. And at the free throw line will be Anna Smith. Her first trip to the line tonight, and she connects. Smith 1 for 4 from the floor. Now 1 for 1 from the stripe, 3 points. And the second toss is up and in, so after getting to within 3, they build the lead back out to 7. Carthage again with trouble at the midcourt. Ball loose, picked up by Cunningham. Cunningham saves the possession there as she gets it off to Morgan Harris. Harris hands it off to Kleiner. Kleiner has had a rough night tonight. 0 for 5 now. Lob down low to Hahn. Hahn going strong to the basket. Missing. Got her own rebound. Stick back off the glass. Too strong. Ball tipped around, and it's pulled in by the Tommies. A lot of contact in there. No call. They let him play through. And Hahn had a couple of good looks underneath. Couldn't finish. Back the other way are the Tommies. Step back 3. That one is short. Rebound. Cunningham had it. Lost it. It was poked away by Smith. It'll be Lady Reds basketball. Well, Lady Reds got it to 3 on an Ashley Cunningham 3 at 34-31, and now we got a foul off the inbound. And it's going to go on St. Thomas. Foul's going to go on Wolkow. Wolkow picking up that foul. Brings out some hackles from the St. Thomas fans that have made their way into Kenosha. That's the 6th team foul, so next foul will put the Lady Reds on the line. Harris guarded by Doctor. Takes it across, gets it to Hahn. Hahn over to Cunningham. Feeds Riley at the left elbow. Back up top to Kleiner. Kleiner now works it off to Harris. Top of the circle it goes. Cunningham fake the shot. Now dishes to Riley. Riley driving left side. Goes glass. Lays it in. Allison Riley flashing in from the left side on the feed from Cunningham. And the Lady Reds back to within 5. 38-33. Wires underneath. Bounce feed back to Doctor for 3. That one's good. Game changer there. Doctor picked up the miss by Wires as she just kind of flipped that out to her in desperation, and Doctor able to drop in the triple. 41-33. Under 11 minutes to go here in the ball game. Kleiner works it off to Riley. Gave up the dribble, and now it's stolen away by Smith. Smith with the steal in front of Cunningham will take it down and lay it up and in. Timeout, Lady Reds. 5-point swing there, and the lead back out to 10. 43-33. The Reds take a timeout. It'll be a 32nd timeout by Carthage. Again, all of our live broadcasts here on 1050 WLIP brought to you in part by these great corporate partners in Carthage Athletics. Mobile One Communications, Riley Construction, Rust-Oleum of Kenosha, and the Subway Sandwich Shop on Highway 31 inside the Walmart Plaza. 43-33, Reds down 10. They had cut it to 3 earlier on an Ashley Cunningham three-pointer, 34-31. But a 9-2 run here by St. Thomas, and they built the lead back out to 10. Reds 41% shooting, 14 of 34. The Tommies 16 of 39, 41% as well. Carthage down by as many as 18 early in the first half. Now lead back to double digits here. Some work to do. Cunningham, jumper from the free throw line, barely grazed iron. The rebound pulled in by Anna Smith. Nice job by Smith to get in front of Riley that time. To haul in that loose ball. Now Stone with it, top of the circle. Gets it off to Doctor. Works it around far side to Warner. We got a foul inside on Hahn, working over Wires. That's 3 now on Hahn. She joins Boardman with 3 fouls as Boardman will check back into the game, replacing Ashley Cunningham. The 15th foul on the Lady Reds. St. Thomas will inbound left of the basket. Smith with it, top of the circle. Works it off to Warner. Back underneath the wires around Boardman and lays it up and in, the lead out to 12. An 11-2 run here by St. Thomas. Well, that's what great teams do. And they have a big lead and it gets down into chopped down to 3. They rally. They find a way. I go back to that Doctor 3 on that wild pass. Boardman with the soft hook. That one came up short. Smith with the rebound once again. She'll clear it out to Doctor. 9:40 to play. Reds down 12. Now Warner on the drive. Bounce pass through Wires. She wasn't expecting it. She thought Warner was going to take it right to the hoop. And Wires turns it over. 10th turnover by St. Thomas tonight. 45-33. 9.5 minutes to play. Carthage chasing 12 here. On top of the circle, works it off to Aaron Thomas, to Morgan Harris. Fakes the shot, got around Stone. Now gives it off to Riley. Riley back out to Harris with 10 on the shot clock. Harris fell down. Got away with a travel there. She handed it off to Thomas. Thomas driving in left side, and we got an offensive foul. They're going to call Thomas for the push away as she collided with Warner. It could have gone either way, but they're going to call Thomas for the chicken wing. That evens the team fouls up now at 6 apiece. Big possession here for St. Thomas. They lead by 12, led by as many as 18 in the first half. Saw that lead down to 3, but they've taken control here. Doctor swings it back out to Stone for 3, bottom of the net. Timeout, Lady Reds, and the lead out to 15. Timeout, Carthage, 8:52 to play. We'll take a break. St. Thomas 48, Lady Reds 33. You're home for Carthage basketball, AM 1050 WLIP. Well, a 14-2 run over the last 5 minutes for St. Thomas. What was a 3-point game has now been stretched to 15. 48-33 your score. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena. 8:52 remaining. Lady Reds with some work to do. They had cut it all the way down to 3 on an Ashley Cunningham three-pointer at the 13-minute mark, and Reds haven't been able to get closer than that. Tommies have taken over here, and now the Carthage forced to take another timeout on the tie-up on the press, and the Lady Reds down to 1 timeout remaining. Aaron Thomas forced to take that timeout. She put the ball on the floor, then picked it right up, and they immediately double-teamed her. So the Reds down to 1 timeout remaining here with 8:47 to play. Reds back in action here at home Saturday. They'll take on Augustana in the conference opener. It'll be Saturday afternoon. That's a 2 o'clock tip here at the Tarble Arena. Originally scheduled for a 5 o'clock tip. That tip will now take place at 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon. To see out here in person at some point or another. The beautiful Tarble Arena, one of the best Division III venues across this great basketball land of ours. Had a nice visit with Bob Bond this afternoon. Talked with him a little bit. He's excited. Looking forward to the conference opening up. We have our first Carthage Insider of the year at 1:30 Saturday afternoon. We're going to have Tim Rux on board for that. It's been a while since we've had a chance to visit with the former head football coach and recent inductee into the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame this past spring. Got to see his likeness up at Lambeau Field earlier this year. Well, big possession here for the Reds. They got to get something going. Hahn on the drive, going strong to the basket, overlaid as she barreled into Anna Smith. Missing the shot, Wires with the rebound, and back come the Tommies the other way. Doctor with it now, high in the left wing. Got to find a way here to keep them from scoring here. Stone through the paint, dumps it off, Wires. 16-footer right baseline is good. 17-2 run here. We got a 16-2 run here for the Tommies. 50-33. On now. Works it back to Thomas. Gets it back to Riley. Now works it around to Boardman, top of the circle. Taylor Boardman, bounce feed to Hahn in the paint. Goes through the lane, leans in with the right hand, and scores. That snaps the scoring drought since the 11:27 mark. Almost 4 minutes without a field goal go the Lady Reds. 50-35. 7.5 minutes to play. Stone again for 3. That's off the back iron, no good. Going through Hahn, looking for the rebound. Thomas knocked off balance, battling Favela, and I believe Thomas called for the foul. That's 3 now on Thomas. She joins Boardman and Hahn with 3 fouls. Casey Kleiner in for Morgan Harris. One and one now, as that's the 7th team foul on the Lady Reds, and Favela able to hit the front end.
Into the Tommies lineup, returning number 11, Maddie Wolkow.
Wolkow will check back in now for St. Thomas. Favela will complete the free throws and hits. Makes them both 52-35, 17-point advantage, 7:17 to play. Thomas will bring it across. Lady Reds working right to left here in the second half. Gets it to Hahn, around to Kleiner. And Kleiner has been stymied here today, 0 for 5 from the field. Riley gets it back to Thomas. Boy, the defense has been tough here in this latter part of this second half. Kleiner with 3, with 2, with 1. Did not get it away. Shot clock violation. Trying to shake the defender, and Favelo just would not move. I am impressed with this defense. I'll tell you what, they are a championship caliber defense. They've held the Lady Reds to 35 points here with 6:40 to go. Three ball on the way, good. Wilkow dropping in the deep three off the left wing, the lead out to 20. 6:26 to play. We got travel on Thomas before she dished that one off to Boardman. Another turnover for the Lady Reds. And Carthage, after pulling to within 3, has just gone stone cold, and credit the St. Thomas Tommies. Boy, they just turned it on here in the latter half of this second half. They have just found a resolve here to deny the Lady Reds any chance of a comeback here. Another open 3 by Favela. That one goes down out of the left corner. And a foul off the inbound. Favela colliding with Thomas, and that'll put Aaron Thomas on the line for the 1-and-1. So that'll put Thomas on the line for the 1-and-1 as Favela picks up her third. And Aaron Thomas on the line for the Lady Reds. Her first trip to the free throw line today. Scored on a layup earlier and missing on the free throw. The rebound by Stone. That's the other thing. Reds had closed the gap at the rebounds at 20 apiece, but been out-rebounded 5 of the last 6 caroms. Another 3 on the way. Another bomb drops in by Maddie Wolkow. 61-35. 5:25 to go. Kleiner now, top of the circle. Drifts off to the right wing. Gets it off to Thomas. Sets it around to Riley. Riley at the free throw line. Dumps it into Boardman. Boardman, turnaround right hook. Off the glass, too strong. Got her own rebound on the right block. Now goes back up with it. Fires it, misfires. Boardman gets the rebound. Riley thrown to the ground, no call. Again, contact in the paint, but it's a travel. A lot of contact. Bodies flying everywhere, but no calls. 61-35. A 27-4 run here by St. Thomas. The Lady Reds pulled to within 3 on the Cunningham three-pointer at 34-31. It's been all St. Thomas. Another 3 by Stone is no good. Whistle and a foul on the rebound. I believe Wires going over the back of Boardman.
Number 40, Wires.
That's her fourth. We'll walk it back to my left here for a 1-and-1 for Taylor Boardman. Boardman 2 for 3 from the line tonight, 7 of 12 from the field, 16 points. She leads all scorers in the contest. Boardman hits the free throw.
Into the top line, number 24, Elaine Warner.
Warner will come in for Favela for St. Thomas. One more toss here for Taylor Boardman. 17 points tonight for Boardman. The second one is up and in. 18 on the night for Boardman. We got a foul on the way down the floor. And
Number 10,
Boardman with the foul. I'm not sure what she did. Boardman made contact as she was coming down the floor. The officials are talking about it here. I'm not sure what happened there. I mean, she made the free throws, left the free throw line, came across midcourt. And after all that contact that's been going on underneath that they've let go, you're going to call the Bill Raftery nickel dime. Larry Mellinger made that call, and sure what he saw, but it stands. Hannah Hughes at the free throw line. Ball deflects through. Riley picks it up. Riley tried to dish it off, and she was fouled.
Tommy's foul, number 11, Wolkow. Her second personal foul, 19.
It'll go on Wolkow, who put Riley to the floor, and so Riley, the 9th team foul on St. Thomas. This will be 1-1 here for Allison Riley. 2 points tonight for Riley, just 1 of 4 from the floor, her first trip to the line tonight. Able to drop it in. Another cold spell from the floor here for the Lady Reds. They've gone another 3 minutes without a field goal here, getting their points from the free throw line. Second one up and in for Allison Riley. Now what do we have? Another stoppage of play, another foul up the floor. Allison Riley going down the floor. And I tell you what gets me upset with this is all the banging that's been going on both ends of the floor underneath the basket. And now after made free throws, the little brush contact going down the floor, they're calling. And Tim Bernero has a right to argue this with Jennifer Washoe, who made that call. You've allowed all this contact to go on. Both coaches not too happy with what's been going on underneath. And now you nickel dime on the breakouts after made free throws. Free throw up and in by Hannah Hughes. And again, as most of you know, I tend to get on the officials a little bit. And that would be from a coaching perspective when you see that going on. I go to that last possession by Taylor Boardman where she was knocked around a couple of different times physically. And they let that go, and then she makes a couple of free throws, and as she's walking down the floor, she kind of brushes contact with the arm, and that's a foul. 63-39, Lady Reds trail. Thomas now to the free throw line, back out to Kleiner, gives it off to Riley. Kleiner leans it inside to Hahn, missed the layup. Rebound pulled out of there by Wires. Off to Wolkow in the right corner. Back up top to Anna Smith, looking for Jenna Doctor, finds her. Now off to Warner. Gets through the screen by Doctor, and we got a held ball. Possession arrow back to the Tommies with 15 on the shot clock and under 4 minutes to play here at the Tarble Arena. Morgan Harris back in, replacing Aaron Thomas. Get it into Anna Smith on the left block. Back around to Doctor, to Warner, back into Smith. Back out to Wires, 8-foot jumper, good. Maggie Wires with the short jumper. She's got 16 tonight. She's a perfect 7 for 7 from the floor. 3.5 minutes to play. 65-39. Boardman now on the drive to the basket, was fouled. Late whistle call there. She was fouled and knocked to the floor as she finished that layup, and she's may have re-aggravated that right ankle injury. She's been trying to play through a slight sprain of that right ankle sustained on the final practice before the team left for Florida. As Maggie Wires will exit 7 for 7 from the floor, 16 points tonight for Wires. As Caitlin Langer will check back in, replacing Wires. Boardman will go to the free throw line here. And missing on the front end. Boardman 4 for 6 from the stripe tonight. Second one up and in. Boardman 1 for 2, 19 points tonight for Taylor Boardman. 25-point deficit now, 65-40, 3:20 to play. Smith to the free throw line, dumps it into the corner. 3 by Warner is no good. Boardman going high for the rebound for the Lady Reds. Gets it off to Harris, down the floor to Hahn. Back to Boardman, takes the three over Smith. Barely drew iron. Morgan Harris trying to go after the loose ball, and she was fouled. Foul will go on Anna Smith. That's her fourth foul. That'll put Harris on the free throw line. Morgan Harris, freshman out of Hersey High School in Chicago suburb, out in the Arlington Heights area there. Able to hit the first free throw. Second one on the way and good. 2 for 2. First points of the game for Morgan Harris. 65-42 with 2:55 to play. Langer works it off onto the right wing to Wolkow. Wolkow tried to force it inside through Warner, and it goes through her hands, out of bounds to the Lady Reds. We'll be with you tomorrow afternoon from Oshkosh. Redmond basketball tomorrow. Carthage Redmond taking on UW Oshkosh. 12:45 broadcast time, a 1 o'clock tip from the Fox Valley. Our final tune-up for the Redmond before conference play begins on Saturday. Riley now on the drive through the left side, going up strong, rolled off the rim, no good. Rebound pulled in by Anna Smith again. Anna Smith, a huge game on the glass, her 6th rebound tonight. Again, Wolkow with it, high on the left wing. Up top to Smith, and we got a hold on the cut through the paint. It's going to go on Allison Riley. That's her third. Double bonus for both teams, so that'll put Jenna Doctor at the free throw line, where she is 4 for 6 tonight, and she has 10 points. Next on the front end. Well, St. Thomas will go to 10-0, and they will get back into conference play. As they will get back into the MIAC January 3rd at Carleton. As Doctor makes the second free throw, 67-42, as Tommy's now subbing out here their starters. We got Ava Stock in there now. Also in for the first time is Kate Andrucci, the freshman out of Prairie School in Racine, the 6'1 freshman. Playing for that state tournament team out of Racine Prairie, is on the floor for the first time tonight. Morgan Harris circles around the right side, dumps it back to Cunningham. Cunningham goes up strong, missing. Rebound pulled in by Andrucci. Minute and a half remaining. All over but the shouting. The 14-game home winning streak comes to an end. And the Tommies come to Kenosha, and they take down Manchester and Carthage and hold them to their season best defensively. Well, Manchester yesterday to 41 points. They hold the Lady Reds to 42 here today. And again, their defense is something that's going to cause trouble in the Minnesota Conference this season. I'll tell you what, I'm very impressed with the way they play. Vukovic turnaround shot. Morgan Vukovic in for the first time. Missing, rebound loose inside, and Morgan Harris tied up with Andrucci for the held ball. Carthage will keep possession with 51 seconds to play. Reds will go to 7-4. They wrap up their non-conference slate as Thomas, a deep three off the left wing, drops it in. 67-45. Augustana in here on Saturday, 2 o'clock the game, and we hope to see you here in person. Come on out and support the Lady Reds. J-Term begins on Tuesday next week, so the students won't be back, so there'll be plenty of room for you here at the Tarble Arena on Saturday. 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, Lady Reds and Redmond against Augustana. Pull-up shot that time, and losing control of it was Lauren Fisher. They call it a held ball, and the Tommies will retain possession here with 20 seconds left, 3 seconds on the shot clock. Work it inside, turn around, it comes up short, and they're going to stop play as a shot clock violation here. The final 17 seconds. Very impressed with St. Thomas. They are definitely a top 5 team in the nation. The new poll comes out right after the first of the year. Would not be surprised to see them in there. Final 7 seconds. Riley going strong to the basket, right side, missing. Vukovic trying to go back up with it, missing. And it pulled away by Spalding, and that's your ball game here this afternoon. Your final score, University of St. Thomas 67, the Carthage Lady Reds 45. We'll pause and take a 2-minute break. Back with our post-game report right after this on AM 1050 WLIP. John Weiser back with you at the Tarble Arena. Let's go down to Adam King with the all-tournament team.
Taylor Boardman. From St. Thomas, number 21, Jenna Doctor. And this year's MVP, number 40, Maggie Weiers.
So Maggie Weiers, the MVP of this tournament. Taylor Boardman making the all-tournament team. And the championship of the Carthage Classic belongs to the University of St. Thomas here today, a 67-45 winner over the Carthage College Lady Reds. Well, the Lady Reds trailed by as many as 18 here in this ball game, and that was early in the first half, a 17-2 start by St. Thomas, but the Reds chipped away. They trailed by 7 at the half, 26-19. They cut the deficit down to 3 at 34-31, and Ashley Cunningham 3 with just under 14 minutes remaining. But then over that 5-minute span from that Ashley Cunningham basket, the Tommies went on a 14-2 run and turned that 3-point deficit into a 48-33 advantage, and the Reds were never able to recover from that run by the Tommies. Maggie Weiers finished with 16 points tonight, 7 for 7 from the floor to lead the Tommies in scoring. Jenna Doctor also added 12 points, the only players in double figures for St. Thomas tonight. Valiant effort by Taylor Boardman tonight. Boardman 19 points, 7 of 13 from the floor, and she had 9 rebounds as the Boardman struggled early, turned it over 4 times on the team's first 6 possessions, and it wasn't looking like a very good start for Taylor Boardman, but she recovered. At one point, she was 5 of 5 from the floor, but tell you what, she battled back, finished with 19 points. Alexis Hahn with 10 for the Lady Reds. Team that comes in, the Tommies coming in a plus 10 on the glass this season, but rebounds ended up even at 30 apiece here tonight. As each team with 30 rebounds, but the difference, the turnovers, Carthage with 18 turnovers, just 7 here in the second half, but still 18 turnovers a bit too much, and you want to break it down a little bit more into the points off turnovers. St. Thomas with 25 points off of turnovers, and you look at that final margin, 67-45, and that you can point to as part of the difference in that in the contest here today. As I said, the Lady Reds trailed by as many as 18, able to whittle it down to 3 at the 13-minute mark, but unable to come up with the win here today, and St. Thomas going on a 14-2 run, opened up a 48-33 advantage at that point, and never looked back here in the second half. And folks, that's what highly ranked teams do. They find a way when they're on the ropes. They get it done, and that's what St. Thomas did here today to go to 10-0 on the season. Lady Reds fall to 7-4 on the year. The very first meeting between these two schools goes to St. Thomas here today by a final of 67-45. Some of the other numbers here in this ball game. Final numbers here, St. Thomas 45%, 23 of 51. Carthage 34% shooting, 16 of 47. Reds just 2 of 14 from behind the arc. St. Thomas came on here in the second half. At halftime, they were just 1 for 10 on three-pointers, but they go 6 for 15 here in the second half and go 7 of 25 for the ball game behind the arc for 28%. 14 of 17 at the line for St. Thomas compared to the Lady Reds, 11 of 14 from the line. But again, I look at that points off turnovers. Carthage committing 18 turnovers, which led to 25 points by the Tommies here this afternoon. Individual numbers here for the Lady Reds. As we mentioned, Taylor Boardman with 19 on 7 of 13 shooting. A rebound shy of a double-double tonight for Boardman. 19 points, 9 rebounds in 32 minutes for Taylor Boardman. Alexis Hahn with 10 points, 4 of 11 tonight from the floor, 2 for 2 from the line, 10 points for Alexis Hahn. 5 points for Aaron Thomas, 5 points for Ashley Cunningham, 4 points for Allison Riley, 2 points for Morgan Harris. Casey Kleiner, a rough game. Kleiner, after scoring 15 points last night, kept off the score sheet here tonight. 0 for 5, did not attempt a field goal, I don't believe, in the second half. I have to go back and look here. Casey Kleiner attempted only 1 field goal in the second half. That was a three-pointer and miss. She was 0 for 5 from the floor, 0 for 4 from behind the arc tonight for the Lady Reds. And again, Erin Quinn did not play, only played 3 minutes. She was injured early in the contest and went down with that right shoulder. Again, she had been battling that AC joint injury in that right shoulder and aggravated that injury. Diving after a loose ball, collided with Jenna Doctor and went down to the floor in considerable pain and spent the second half on the bench with the Lady Reds with that right arm in a sling. So remains to be seen if she'll be available for Saturday's conference opener against Augustana. Meanwhile, for St. Thomas, 52% shooting in the second half, 45% for the ball game, 23 of 51 on the night for the Tommies. They were led by Maggie Wires with 16 points. Wires was 7 of 7 from the floor. She had 4 rebounds before fouling out in the contest. She played just a total of 18 minutes and almost a point a minute tonight for Wires. 18 minutes, 16 points tonight for Maggie Wires. 12 points for Jenna Doctor. Doctor was 2 of 4 from the floor, both of those three-pointers. She also got to the free throw line tonight, 6 of 8 from the stripe tonight for Jenna Doctor. 8 points for Katie Stone. Stone was 3 of 9, including a pair of three-pointers. 8 points for Maddie Wolcall. Wolcall was 3 of 4 from the floor, including a pair of three-pointers. 6 points for Anna Smith on 2 of 6 shooting. Elaine Warner with 4. Alyssa Favela with 2. Lauren Fisher with 2. Laura Marguerite with 7. Completes the scoring here for the Tommies. Again, rebounding dead even at 30 apiece. Again, the Tommies coming in at a plus 10 per game. Carthage at a plus 7 per game, and it ends up even at 30 apiece. Reds with 11 offensive rebounds. St. Thomas with 9. What's significant there, St. Thomas had 7 offensive rebounds in the first half, held to just 2 here in the second half. Tommies turned it over 11 times compared to Carthage 18. St. Thomas with 15 assists on their 23 made baskets. Carthage with 7 assists on their 16 made baskets here tonight. So it goes to St. Thomas by a final of 67-45. Waiting to see if head coach Tim Bernero will make his way out. Again, the extended time on the floor and in the locker room with his team with the trophy presentation. So hopefully we'll have a word or two with Coach Bernero before we sign off here tonight. Want to remind you that conference play begins on Saturday. We'll have one more game for you in the non-conference, and that's tomorrow afternoon as the Carthage Redmen will travel to UW Oshkosh, take on the Titans. We'll be with you at 12:45 tomorrow afternoon from Oshkosh with a 1 o'clock tip, the Redmen and the Titans tomorrow. And that'll wrap up non-conference play, at least pre-CCIW non-conference play. The Redmen will have one more non-conference game in late February against Illinois Institute of Technology. So Carthage trying to get on a little bit of a roll. The Redmen trying to get on a little bit of a roll, winning last week Saturday at home in a last-second thriller over Lake Forest College. And trying to extend that momentum into conference play on Saturday. Both the Lady Reds and Redmen will open up conference play Saturday afternoon. And again, time changes there. It'll be a 2 o'clock tip for the women, a 4 o'clock tip for the men. Originally scheduled to be a 5 and 7 tip, but that'll be a 2 and 4 with our broadcast starting at 1:30 Saturday afternoon with the Carthage Insider, followed by the Lady Reds pregame, and then it's Lady Reds basketball at 2 o'clock right here on AM 1050 WLIP and on the stream at WLIP.com and on the video stream through carthage.edu. And the Redmen will open up at home against Augustana, then go on the road for 3 straight. They'll be at North Park next Wednesday, and then at Illinois Wesleyan a week from Saturday on the 10th. So Redmen open up with a couple of road games right off the get-go, while the Lady Reds get back-to-back home games in conference play. Saturday against Augustana and Wednesday night hosting North Park. But here, just too much St. Thomas here in the second half. Again, the Lady Reds were able to take an 18-point deficit and whittle it down to 3 with just over 13 minutes left on an Ashley Cunningham three-pointer. Put the score at 34-31, but then over the span of 5 minutes, a 14-2 run by the Tommies blew open this ball game back to a 48-33 advantage, and they never looked back. They built that lead out to as many as 26 with just over 5 minutes to go, and Lady Reds spending all that energy chasing and nearly catching and just didn't have anything available at the end. Again, a credit to St. Thomas here tonight as they go to 10-0 on the year, and Carthage falls to 7-4. Tell you what, we're going to wrap things up here. Tim Bernero spending some extended time with his team, and we want to get to extended lip-off here with Dan and his company. We'll get that to you at WLIP, so that'll wrap things up here at the Tarble Arena. Your final here tonight, it was a University of St. Thomas 67, Carthage 45. We'll be back with you tomorrow afternoon, Redmen basketball at 12:45, right here on Kenosha's radio station, AM 1050. WLIP Kenosha. John Weiser saying good night, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to Lady Reds basketball, heard exclusively on 1050 WLIP.